Well, hello and welcome back for more English practice. I'm Teacher Julie, and I'm very happy that you're here to practice your English again. Today's lesson is called Where Do You Live? Where do you live? Do you live in a house? Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in a city? Do you live in a country? Where do you live? So today we want to ask, where do you live? But we also want to ask, where did you live in the past? Where do you live is present. It's now. Present tense is today. Today is June 1st, 2020. It's today. It's present. It's now. An example of a present tense question is, what country do you live in? What country do you live in? It's present tense. It means now, today. I live in Canada. I live in Canada. It's a present tense answer. I live in Canada now, today. But past tense is before. Okay? This year is 2020. Last year was 2019. We will use a green arrow for present and a red arrow for past. Our question: what country did you live in? Did is past. Before Canada, what country did you live in? Remember, did is past. You live in Canada now, today, but before, maybe 2019, 2018, what country did you live in? I lived in Vietnam. I came from Vietnam. I lived in Libya. I came from Libya. I lived in Turkey. I came from Turkey. I lived in Africa. I came from Africa. I lived in China. I came from China. Please know it's okay in English if you want to always use present tense when talking about the country you come from. It is always okay to say, I lived in Libya. I come from Libya. It's okay to do that. What province do you live in? What province do you live in? Province is a part of Canada. It's a smaller piece of Canada. Canada has 10 provinces and 3 territories. What province do you live in? It's do. It's present tense. It's now. What province do you live in today? I live in Alberta. I live in Alberta. We can see the little red Alberta. This is a bigger picture of the province of Alberta. It's very difficult to read. Edmonton and Calgary are on this map of Alberta. I live in Alberta. It's present tense. It's now. What city do you live in? What city do you live in? It's present tense. Now, what city do you live in today? I live in Edmonton. That's true for our class at Solomon College. If you're watching and you live in a different city, your answer is different. Maybe you live in Toronto. Your answer is, I live in Toronto. Maybe you live in Vancouver. Your answer is, I live in Vancouver. For me, I live in Edmonton. What city did you live in before Edmonton? Okay, before Edmonton, before 2020. What city did you live in? The answer is I lived in. I lived in. I lived in Shanghai. I lived in Tripoli. I lived in, trying to think, Toronto. That's okay too. Now, let's talk about the kinds of places you can live, the kinds of housing available in Canada. What do you live in? What do you live in? These are the answers. Do you live in an apartment? Do you live in an apartment? Yes, I do. I live in an apartment. Or, oops, we're not finished. I live in apartment number 315. I live in apartment number 315. The other answer is no. I do not live in an apartment. No, I do not live in an apartment. We can go short and say don't. No, I don't live in an apartment. We are present tense. We are talking about now, today. No, today I don't live in an apartment. Okay? No, I don't live in an apartment. Now we are asking about before Canada. Did you live in an apartment in your country? This is before, maybe 2019, maybe 2015 for some people. Did you live in an apartment in your country before? Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Did is past. Do is present. Yes, I lived in an apartment in my country. Yes, I lived in an apartment in my country. We can break the sentence up. Yes, I lived in an apartment in my country. So please look. The short answer is yes, I did. Did, past. Or I don't say did, I say lived. Yes, I lived in an apartment in my country. The ed makes it past. Or maybe the answer is no. No, I did not live in an apartment in my country before. No, I didn't live in an apartment. No, I didn't live in an apartment. Do you live in a house? Do you live in a house? Do you live in a house? It's present tense. Do is now. Yes, I do. Yes, I live in a house. Yes, I do. Yes, I live in a house. We usually say one or the other. You can say, sorry about that, yes, I do live in a house. That's also okay. But a little shorter is yes, I do, or yes, I live in a house. The negative, no, I do not live in a house. No, I do not live in a house. Or, no, I don't live in a house. No, I don't live in a house. Did you live in a house in your country? Did. Past tense. Did. Listen, did, live, in. They are all short I. I. Did you live in a house in your country? It's past. Did. Yes, I did. Yes, I lived in a house in my country. No, I did not live in a house. Or, no, I didn't live in a house. No, I didn't live in a house. Didn't, did not. It's past. Do you live in a townhouse? Do is now. Look at the picture of a townhouse. I can see 1, 2, 3. There's actually four doors. A townhouse is many small houses next to each other. They are next to each other. They share a wall. There are many houses next to each other. In Canada, we call this a townhouse. A townhouse. Do you live in a townhouse? Do you live in a townhouse now, today? Yes, I do. Yes, I live in a townhouse. Yes, I live in a townhouse. Or, no, I do not live in a townhouse. No, I do not. That's a good answer. It's very short. No, I do not. Longer. No, I do not live in a townhouse. No, I don't live in a townhouse. They're all good. No, I don't. I do not live in a townhouse. I don't live in a townhouse. Did you live in a townhouse in your country? Did. Past tense. Did you live in a townhouse in your country? What's the answer? Yes or no? Yes, I did. I lived in a townhouse in my country. Did and lived are past tense. Do and live are present tense. Yes, I did. Yes, I lived in a townhouse in my country. No, I did not live in a townhouse. No, I did not live in a townhouse. I didn't live in a townhouse. No, I didn't live in a townhouse. Do you live in a duplex? A duplex is 2 houses together, only 2. Okay, I will see 2 doors, 1 door, 2 doors. 2 doors, 2 houses is a duplex. 3, 4, 5 houses together is a townhouse. A duplex is 2 houses together. Do you live in a duplex? Do. It's present. It's now. Yes, I do. Yes, I live in a duplex. I live in a duplex. No, I do not live in a duplex. No, I don't live in a duplex. Did you live in a duplex in your country? Did. It's past. Did you live in a duplex before Canada? The answers? Yes, I did. I lived in a duplex in my country. Yes, I did. What's an easy peasy answer? It's nice and short. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. They are good, short answers. Yes, I lived in a duplex in my country. No, I did not live in a duplex. No, I didn't live in a duplex. Oops, sorry. I'm just moving along. We have some practice questions. I will ask a question. Please speak the answer. Then teacher will tell the answer. Were you right? Is it so-so? If your answers are so-so, I want you to do this video again. Repeat, repeat. What is a country? A or B? A or B? Which picture is a country? B is smaller, A is bigger. The answer is A. A is the country of Canada. What is a province? What is a province? Is it A or B? B is the answer. B is a province. The country is big. A province is small. What is a city? Is it A or B? The city is A. A, this one, with all the buildings. B is a country. A. What is a duplex? A or B? A or B? The answer is A. The duplex is A. It is two houses, one, two, together. What is a townhouse? Is it A or B? A or B? B is a townhouse. A is a house. B is many houses next to each other. B is a townhouse. What is an apartment? A or B? B is an apartment. What is a house? A is a house. Teacher will ask the question, please answer. What do you live in? What do you live in today? I live in a house. I live in an apartment. I live in a townhouse. You need one answer. One answer. What city do you live in? What city do you live in? I live in Edmonton. I live in Edmonton. What country do you live in? I live in Canada. I live in Canada. What country did you live in? What country did you live in? Did, it's past, before Canada. I lived in. What province do you live in? What province do you live in? I live in Alberta. I live in Alberta. What province did you live in? What province did you live in? Before. This is the country of Turkey. It has many smaller parts called provinces. What province did you live in 2017? Most countries have provinces. I lived in. You will have to say it. For example, I lived in Ankara. I lived in Ankara. What city did you live in? What city did you live in? 2018? I lived in. For me, I lived in Edmonton. I stayed in Edmonton my whole life. But what about you? In 2018, what city did you live in? Did you live in Beijing? Did you live in Tripoli? Did you live in Toronto? Did you live in Vancouver? What city did you live in 2018? What city do you live in? I see the answer. I live in Edmonton. What do you live in? What do you live in? I live in a house. I live in an apartment. I live in a townhouse. What country did you live in before 2020? I lived in Congo. I lived in Uganda. I lived in Vietnam. I lived in China. I lived in El Salvador. I lived in Brazil. What country did you live in before 2020? What province do you live in now? I live in Alberta. We live in Alberta. I now have some writing practice for you. There are 10 questions. Please write in your notebook. Take a picture of your writing work and send the picture to me on WhatsApp or by email. Here is our writing practice. Okay. Please complete the sentences. Write in your notebook. Write about you. Do is now, today. Please stop the video and write the sentences. Finish the sentences. Number 2 is the same. Finish the sentence, but this is past. Think about where you lived before Canada, before Edmonton. I lived in. Please stop the video and write these 4 sentences in your notebook. Now you need to finish the question and write an answer. Okay? The question is, do you live in Canada? I'm looking at the date. It's today. That's present tense. I need the word do. Do you live in Canada? And then write an answer. Yes, I do live in Canada. Stop the video to write. Okay, so number 4. You live in India? The year 2017. Do or did? Please answer. Do or did? 2015. Okay? Do or did the year 2015. Stop the video and write. Write the question, write your answer. Do or did, number 5. You live in a house? Please look, the date is December 2016. It's past. Write an answer. Think about 2016. Did you live in a house? Yes or no? There's one answer, okay? Only one. It's either no or yes. Do not write, no, I don't live in a house. Yes, I do live in a house. It's one answer. Answer the question. Number 6. It's 2020. It's now. Do or did? Stop the video and write. Number 7. Do or did? The year 2019. It's past. Remember, it's one answer. Write the question. Write one answer. Yes or no. Number 8. Remember to stop the video. Do or did? Write the question. Write your answer. I don't know. There's no 9. There is no 9. It's your lucky day because teacher made another mistake. Every video I make, there is at least one mistake. That's okay. I'm only human. Number 10, because there is no 9. Do or did? Write the question, write the answer. Stop the video to write. Okay. I have some reading practice. It's a story. Today we'll just read. Tomorrow we can answer some questions about it. Please read the story 4 or 5 times. Repeat after teacher. Then maybe turn the volume down so you can't hear me. Can you read the story with no teacher's help? Abdul came to Canada in November 2017. He lived in Toronto for 2 years. Abdul liked Toronto. He lived in a high-rise apartment. Abdul liked Toronto. He lived in a high-rise apartment. He had many friends at his English school. He had many friends at his English school. They practiced speaking, listening, reading, and writing. They practiced speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Abdul liked his teacher. His teacher's name was Teacher Mike. Abdul liked his teacher. His teacher's name was Teacher Mike. Abdul went to school every day. He learned English. Abdul went to school every day. He learned English. Abdul got a job at the library. Abdul got a job at the library. Abdul got a dog. He had a nice apartment. He had a good job. He had good friends. Abdul was very happy in Toronto. Abdul was very happy in Toronto. So please now go back and read the story one more time. Okay, so you're going to just rewind your video. I can do it with you. Actually, it's okay. Where is it? Here is our story. We're going to do again. Repeat. Abdul came to Canada in November 2017. He lived in Toronto for 2 years. Abdul liked Toronto. He lived in a high-rise apartment. He had many friends at his English school. They practiced speaking, listening, reading, and writing. Abdul liked his teacher. His teacher's name was Teacher Mike. Abdul went to school every day. He learned English. Abdul got a job at the library. Abdul got a dog. He had a nice apartment. He had a good job. He had good friends. Abdul was very happy in Toronto. So please, you can watch the video 1 time, 2 times, but please do the reading 4 or 5 times because tomorrow I'm going to ask you to read to me. I'm going to check on you. And don't forget to write your homework, take a picture, and send it to teacher. Have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow. We are this lesson. Bye-bye.